Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm glad you're joining us this evening. We're going to begin together with Maya Fe Hayom on 128. Maya Fe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. We're going to turn to 120 and invite our Oneg hosts, all three of our Oneg hosts, forward to light the Shabbat candles. I didn't warn them of that, but and I hit the wrong button. Come on. Asher Kedushan of Mitzvotav, V'zivanu L'chad L'pnei Shel Shabbat.
Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who ruled the universe, instilling in us the holiness of mitzvot by commanding us to build the life of Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you so much. We're going to continue together with the beginning of Psalm 95, the Chune Ranana on 130. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, letzur yishenu, nekadma benav betoda. Naria, Naria, letzur yishenu, mizmerot Naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Together in the English, the bottom. Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai. Raise a shout for our rock and deliverer. Let us come into God's presence with praise. Let us raise a shout for God in song. For Adonai is a great God, the great ruler of all divine beings. In God's hand are the depths of the earth, the peaks of the mountains are God's. God's is the sea, God made it, and the land which God's hands fashioned. Come, let us bow down and kneel, bend the knee before Adonai our maker, for Adonai is our God, and we are the people God tends, the flock in God's care. Oh, if you would, but heed God's charge this day. We continue together with the words of Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath bride, 138 and 139. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nekabela, Likrat Shabbat lechuvenecha, Ki mekor habracha, Merosh mikadem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh v'mashavat techila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva ore kumi ori, uri, uri, shirda beri, kivod Adonai alaych nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. You rise as we welcome the Sabbath bride. Verse 9. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha utzola, tochem uneam segula, boi chala, lecha doti likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekavela. You may be seated. The psalmist wrote of your greatness. My ancestors wrote of your greatness. The poets wrote of your greatness. Who am I to think that I have words to describe you, you who are beyond human understanding? Tonight, I call you Hamakom, the place, for you are with us now and always. And maybe tonight, that is enough. We continue with the words of Tzaddik Katamar, Psalm 92 in the middle of 140. Tzaddik Katamar Yibra, Ke'eres Bavanon Yizkel Shetuli, Be'ez Adonai, Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu, Od Yenuvun Baseva, Deshenim Bera'ananim Lehagid ki yashar Adonai, Tsuri, Tsuri, Velo Avlota. We turn together to 142 for Shalom Aleichem as we welcome our Shabbat angels, which maybe with the storm, we particularly need a little extra protection. Shalom Aleichem, Malechei Hasharet, Malechei Elyon. Mi melech malechei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boachem leshalom, malechei hashalom, malechei elyon. Mi Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nile Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Malachei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. But what is that hope in a God whose love is never simple? Our hope is the hope of Nachman, our faith, the faith of Job. We trust, but not in a God of easy answers. We hope, but not in a God who intervenes to change life's course for us. The psalmist said it best long ago, blessed is the person who trusts in God. God is the object of his trust. All we seek of God is God. Such a faith is tested, to be sure, but is never disappointed. Rabbi Arthur Green. We continue together with the words of the Chatzi Kaddish on 144. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah B'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechonu v'yomechon Uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Ubizman karim Bimeruome Yesh Merabah Mevorach Leolam Lo Meomaya Yitbarach Vishtabach Vipar Vitroman Vitnase Vitadar Vitale Vitalal Shemed Kudasha Brichu Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata tamiran be'alma b'meru amen. We rise in body or spirit for the Baruch Hu, 146 and on the screens. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la la. Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Yalalai 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 Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. We continue in prayer together on the top of 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. We continue with the words of Ahavat Olam, 150. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Amcha Torah mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochteinu v'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavadcha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael. From the page as we join together in the words of Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'chol nafshecha u'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh Asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta baham b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, ve'hayu latotafo b'neinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'b'sharecha. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeiti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim V'hiyot Lachem Le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Continue together in the middle of 157 as we read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. When we join together in singing those words, Mi Chamocha, on 158. Yai lai lai yai lai la 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 yai lai la 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 yai lai la 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 yai lai la la ya la 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot Osefele, Nora tehilot Osefele, Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Top of 161. We pray together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Turn the page as we join together in the words of Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam Beini uvein B'nei Yisrael oti le'olam V'shamru B'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim vet haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat Vayinafash v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. God has placed abilities and challenges in our hearts without regard to gender. Each of us has the duty, whether man or woman, to realize those gifts God has given. Rabbi Regina Jonas. We rise together on 164 for the Amidah. We chant through 170. Adonai Sifatai Tivtahu Via Gita Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vizocher Chasei Avot B'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Hozer Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atarav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach, Umarid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umidol melach, Melech memi dumechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanat al chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh, v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh. I'm rumbling. You may be seated. I'm rumbling. Top of 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Top of 175. Ever present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion, restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, shodecha levarcha v'yirah na'avod. Together in the middle of 177. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulecha Na'eh Lehodot. We join together in our words for peace, Shalom Rav and 178. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Bechol et uvechol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hambarech et amo Yisrael, Bashalom. Take a moment for silent prayer. The words on 180 and 181 are the words of your hearts. Ose shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. We turn together to page 371. As our thoughts turn to those in our family, in our community, and in our world who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, or of spirit. If there's someone you're thinking of, please feel free to share their name aloud or in the chat. Ann Munther, Steve Edwards, Linwood Jennings, Al Berman, Maurice Berman, Iris Kamer, Dennis Linderman, Vanny Lubratich, Ron Schubat, Jessica Rasnick, Valerie Zuckman. We hold all those named and unnamed in our hearts and in our prayers as we pray together for healing in the middle of 371. Mi Shabbat Avotenu Mekol Bracha Leotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi Shabbat Imotenu Mekol Bracha Leotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We add to those prayers Steve Snyderman. So last week, as we began reading Vayikra, the book of Leviticus, I spoke about the meaning of the word korban, sacrifice, as being from the root to draw close. This week, I want to build upon that by speaking about the role of ritual in our lives, and especially the role of food and food preparation. I was inspired by the commentary written by Rabbi Nancy Fuchs-Kreimer in the Torah, a Woman's Commentary, about this week's Parsha, this week's Torah reading. So ritual can be defined as a sequence of activities involving gestures, words, actions, or objects performed according to a set sequence. As we are only a few days away from the start of Pesach or Passover, hope this is not a surprise to anybody, the Seder is a perfect example of a ritual that we perform. The table is set, certain words are said in a certain order, foods are eaten in a specific way, even the name we have given to this ritual, since Seder itself means order. But we can also look at everyday things, such as brushing our teeth or readying ourselves for the day. That too is a ritual. There are certain actions and objects used or done in a specific order. We often prepare food in a ritualistic way as well. This is where our Parsha, our section from Torah, Parshat Tzav, comes into play. The first half of the Parsha is all about the sacrifices that are to be brought and how they are to be handled, including which ones should be eaten and by whom. As my colleague, Cantor David Fair in Grand Rapids, wrote for reformjudaism.org, reading through Tzav is like peeking into a world-class chef's bustling kitchen. The Kohanim, the priests, were like master chefs following a biblical recipe. If we read the descriptions of the sacrifices as part of the ritual of cooking, of participating and benefiting ourselves and those we care for through food, we are granted another, perhaps deeper understanding of the role of the priests. The priests were not only assisting the people in drawing closer to God, they were also feeding themselves, their families, and often the people as well. Feeding themselves and those around them was part of their reason for being. Rabbi Fuchs-Kreimer takes this approach as well in her commentary, as I mentioned before. She looked at the role of sacrifice and ritual in the lives of our ancestors, and then the turn it took after the destruction of the temple. Once the rabbis shift the essence of our ritual from the actions at the temple to the actions in our homes, we see a shift in who is charged with the ritual of food. While in the Mishkan and then in the temple, it was Aaron and his male descendants. After the destruction of the temple, it is the women who take over the role of preparing food. It is the women who are the guardians of Judaism in the home, and much of Judaism is home-based, including the Passover Seder, where we bring the sacrifice from the temple, the Paschal lamb, into our homes and place it on the Seder plate, represented by the shank bone or the beet, if you happen to be vegetarian. Rabbi Fuchs-Kreimer draws our attention to numerous books of recipes written by women, passing along the secrets of their success, not unlike the priests training the next generation. She even mentions a collection of recipes put together by the women who were interned at the concentration camp of Terezin. The preparation of food itself is a ritualistic act. When I prepare the words I share with you, I sometimes immediately know exactly what I wish to share. A verse, a word, a story sparks my inspiration. This week, it took reading the words of colleagues, both new and old, to draw inspiration from me. I'm grateful to have generations of commentary to help breathe life into the sacrificial system, which I know does not speak to many because it doesn't often speak to me, but was a way of life for generations of our ancestors. I am not the cook in my house. That is my lovely partner. And I think he understands the role of ritual in a completely different way than I do, especially when it comes to preparing food for others. When it's just him, he doesn't put nearly the same amount of care into what he eats. But when cooking for others, his thoughtfulness and attention to detail shines through. Yet next week, it will be me who prepares the table and the items for the Seder while he cooks the main dish. I find great pleasure in preparing the items for the Seder plate, shining the silver. Yes, I actually do shine silver, and making sure everything is just so. It's doing these actions, which my mother taught me. Oh, sorry. What's a very loud boom? I honestly was like, I really hope the lights stay on. Okay. It is doing these actions, which my mother taught me, which makes Passover real to me, and it is my favorite holiday. It is not Passover if I've not cleaned the kitchen, tossed out the expired items, cleaned the fridge, put away the toaster. Those are aspects of the ritual as well. It is not only the things we have passed down from our family that are rituals of this season, they're also the rituals of our larger tradition, one of which is the searching for and then the burning of the chametz, the leavened items, before the start of Passover. This ritual, Bedikat chametz, is explained as follows. One of the many fun customs associated with Passover is to search for, collect, and destroy any chametz, leavening, or grain that ferments in the house. Children are particularly enthusiastic about the search and destroy mission. Are they right? Is it fun? Yeah. Look any place in the house where chametz was used during the year, or designate our family member to hide 10 pieces of chametz, which is a Kabbalistic tradition throughout the house. Just remember where you put them. Before the search, there's a blessing recited, and one often uses a feather to sweep all the crumbs into the spoon and deposit them in a paper bag, while the next morning you make a final search and then burn or discard the bag and its contents. So I bring this up because you are all invited, if you would like, to join myself and Rabbi Estrin at Congregation of Moses Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., where we will eat bagels and then burn the chametz. Because why not? Always a reason to eat food, guys. Always a reason. While this might not be a ritual you've participated in before, there is always room to add a new ritual to our lives, to add meaning to the actions we are already taking, or to recognize that more order might bring us a sense of a completeness that we did not yet have. So whether you choose to add Bedikat chametz or another ritual to your observance of Passover or of Judaism, I do hope you and your loved ones have a wonderful and joyous Passover. Shabbat shalom. Okay. I was hoping it doesn't go boom again. Okay. We're going to continue together with the words of Aleinu, bottom of 586 and the top of 588. If you would, please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gdula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kue abratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot adama. Shelo sam chalkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamona. Ve'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shehu notesh shamayim ve'oser haaretz u'moshev yikaru b'shamayim ima'ah. Ushchinatu zo, begol meromi, hu Eloheinu eno, emelachenu efesulato, kakatu v'torato, biadatayom v'hashevota elevavecha. Ki Adonai hu ha-Elohim b'shamayim imo ve'al mitachat enod. Top of 591, we continue together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe, the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nehemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz bayom ha'u yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo lecha. You may be seated. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We especially remember the yard sites of Esther Askin, Arnold Barco, Sylvia Brown, Bessie Cohen, Dennis Dolan, Jennifer Ellig, Tilly Finman, Franchelle Bunny Gaines Sumney, Meyer Gardner, Lois Greenberg, Anya Sophia Goldstein, Jesse Harris, Joan Perellis Heller, Edith Yeager, Max King, Sam S. King, Jerry Krause, Natalie Lankin, Leon Lewis, Carol Muskio, Myron Reinheimer, Rick Rodbard, Jenny Samler Leader, Francis Sellen, Joan Siegel, Norman N. Smith, Betty Weintraub, Gail Weiner, and Hannah Winter. Are there additions or corrections? You rise in body or spirit for the mourner's cottage. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Bialma divrach yute biamlich malchute. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayed chol beit Yisrael. Bagala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach leolam ulome omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalo. Shemei dukudsha b'richu. Le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Huya say shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. We hope to join us for Oneg after. There are services tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. in person and on Zoom, followed by Torah study at 11:30. There is no religious school on Sunday, nor on Wednesday. But yes, on the followings anyway. It's a complicated schedule between spring break and Passover. So, anyone who would like to join me and my family and my extended family on Zoom for Passover first night, Wednesday, we're beginning at 6 o'clock. The link is in the emails. Zoom registration link. Zoom will then send you the link. You are welcome to join us as we filled up for second night Seder. So, services next week are regular scheduled time, 7 o'clock Friday night, and 10 o'clock on Saturday. And do take a look at the newsletter that went out today. There is a lot happening in April, even though I feel like it's a short month with Passover and everything, but there is a lot happening. We are recognizing Faith Climate Action Week. There's going to be a documentary showing, among some other things happening. So we look forward to seeing you at many of them. We're actually going to conclude on the screens tonight with Rabbi Menachem Creditor's Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Let us build a world from love, which I've been thinking about all day as the thunder has been rumbling. So. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. I will build this world from love. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. And you must build this world from love. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. And if we build this world from love, yalla la la la, yalla la la. Then God will build this world from love. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yalla la la la, yalla la la. Shabbat shalom, everyone.